Hello, guys in YouTube land. I was laying in bed at 1 a.m. Well, it was actually before 1 a.m. Probably should be asleep, but I had a thought in my head. Something happened, and it was during the stream. It was two situations that came to my mind, which I thought you guys might appreciate. It was what to do to push through your opponent's plays. How do you push through your opponent's plays, and how do you predict what your opponent is trying to do? And so I have two situations that I'll walk through with you, and I'd like to get your guys' thoughts on it. And tell me what you think. Maybe this will help you if you're the type of person that says, I just play my cards and see what happens, or I just look one card ahead. Maybe if I show you these two specific situations, then it'll unlock something for you and you'll be able to see Gwent in a whole new world. So the situation involves one card. Both of them. I'll show you the one card. It involves Nilfgaard. So Nilfgaard loves to run a certain card that is so deadly. One of the most overpowered cards in the game, I'd say. And that card is Marl. So Marl poisons an enemy unit on deploy and on order. It also poisons an enemy unit. So what does that mean? That means that if Marl poisons you and you kill Marl, you can't do anything else because you can only play one card, then they can use something else to poison you and kill that unit. So that unit's completely gone. So you can either do that, or they play Marl, they poison you, you purify a unit, but you don't take care of Marl, and then Marl just poisons you and plays that second poison unit anyway, and your guy still dies. So it's like a catch-22. If you deal with Marl, you're still dead, and if you don't deal with Marl, you're still dead. So here are the two situations that I did in which I played through my opponent's Marl. And what happened is, even when I played through the opponent's Marl, they don't have to play the Marl in order for you to play through the Marl. It's the threat of them maybe having the Marl, and you'll see that right now. So let's go to the first example. So here I am. I'm starting off the round. I played Crow Mother. They played that 4-boy, the Delirian whatever in the back. And now you can see that I played the priest, Fabla priest. So it's a 5. It's doing its own business, right? And then what does my opponent end up doing? Well, my opponent says to himself, well, I guess I'll just poison you, right? And so it's at this point, once he poisons me, what would you do in this situation? Now, keep in mind, the entire game, I'm not focused on what they're poisoning, right? The only thing I'm focusing on is how do I take care of that Marl, right? And so if I end up purifying my poison unit, then you know what he does? He can just straight up Marl me, and then I'm in that same position to where I can't take care of Marl. There's only one way in this entire round I can take care of Marl, and that's if I use the stratagem to purify, and I also decoction, which is the card all the way in the left. It's a video, so I can't highlight anything. So what I decide to do is I tell my opponent, okay, I'll let you kill my unit, but I'm going to make you pay for it. And how do I do that? What I do is I use my plunder to actually damage my unit, so I'm still getting value off of it. So what my opponent ends up doing right there is he cut bears, and he actually kills it. But does it really even bother me if he kills it? Because I have the Freya's Blessing anyway. So I never really needed to purify that unit, because it didn't even do anything. So I basically called my opponent to bluff on purifying, and I said, hey, I still have my purify. So good luck getting your Marl off, buddy. So let's see what the opponent does next. So I'm back at square one, and I just dodged 2 poisons. Isn't that insane? So the next thing my opponent does, I believe he starts bleeding my... Does he start bleeding my dude? Let me check. Come on, I'm probably talking or something, because I'm like cut off from the video, but you'll see in just a second what he does. I think he bleeds my dude. Ah, there we go. So he bleeds my dude. So why would he bleed my Crow Mother? So he's bleeding my Crow Mother because he wants to Swears it next turn. And there's no way I can save Swears. I don't have any boosting cards, right? So it's almost like I have to purify here, right? And then I just have to get Marled. True. That's the only answer I could see. Except for one play. Do you see the play before I do it? There's one play I can do besides Crystal Skull. I'm doing the Draco Turtle. But what if instead of the Draco Turtle, what if I actually plundered my own unit? If I plunder the Crow Mother, then I'm taking it down to 2, and then I'm taking it down to 1 because of the bleeding. So I'm basically telling him, my opponent, once again I'm playing through his tricks. I'm saying, okay, you can take my Crow Mother, but enjoy the 3-point Swears that you're going to be playing, because it's going to die regardless. Notice how I kept the Purify the entire time. A lot of times you would just instinctively, okay, I have to Purify, I have to play around Swears. But my goal here is to play around that Marl no matter what. And you can see I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So I'm at 5 cards right now. I believe I'm up 22 to 19 or something. And you want to know what my opponent does here? My opponent realizes that I have his Marl checked, right? Even if he never played it, I have his Marl checked. He doesn't Swears me because it's not worth anything, really. So my Crow Mother has the carryover for next round. And I didn't even have to use my Purify the entire time. So I passed. I actually won that round. Isn't that insane how I actually won that round without using my Purify against Poison while I'm playing Tall SK? So that's how you can play around stuff, what your opponent's doing. I let him take the Poison. I don't care about that. You want to bleed me, that's fine. But I'm going to take care of your Marl no matter what. So that's the first situation. So the point I'm trying to get across here is you don't have to instinctively or reactively immediately try to counter the opponent. It doesn't really matter. You can always like see if it's a better move just to play through what your opponent's doing, right? Because countering most of the time, some of the times, it's not worth it. All right. Because there's just too much. They have too much poison. So something's going to die eventually. So might as well just have them use their poison on something early on. And then you can do the rest of your strategy. Here's the second situation. Second situation. So I have more of a board set up here. I have the Svalbard Priest already set up. And I also have the Drakkar set up. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards. Now look what he did. He once again, the opponent tried to set up the Swears, right? Now I'm at 6 cards, and you can see he doesn't have that many points. Is it possible? Can I see how many points he has? 19, and then a Christmas tree. I did a Christmas tree. All right, 19 a Christmas tree. But you can see I'm up by a ton of points. So I'm at 6 cards, so I'm going down to 5 cards. So what I'm telling my opponent right here is I'm going to let you actually Marl me. If you want to, you can actually Marl me. Because I Draco Turtled, right? And then I boosted my 3. The reason why is because there's only 2 cards left to 4. I'm up by like 30 points or something. I'm okay with using my Purify now because I'm blocking the Swears and I'm also blocking the Marl. I'm blocking the Marl because even if he Marls, he's not coming back. If he burns the 9, well, I have the 6 and the Draco Turtle to gain points. So either way, I checkmated him because he can't play Marl. So that means I can use my Purify and actually still block his Swears. So the first time I went through the Swears, and this time I went over top of the Swears while still beating Marl, even though he never played it. So you might say, but OceanMud, the opponent never even had Marl to begin with in either situation. He didn't, maybe, but it could have been his hand, and I prevented him from being able to play it. So it's these type of situations. If you notice, I wasn't thinking 1 card ahead the entire time. I was looking at the round as a bigger picture. The bigger picture round is I have to take care of Marl. Because if he gets a good Marl off, then he's basically going to win on even, right? And instead what happened is I went over top of him the second time, forcing him to have a bad Marl in the future round. And the first time, I just kept the Purify to say, hey, you're not going to get a good Marl off of me regardless, because I can always Purify and then do the decoction. So I just wanted to go over that with you guys briefly. Hopefully the video didn't go too long. This applies for many different factions. I might do another video in the future, but for right now, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, then let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.